students are getting ready to show you a great night of chemistry and magic. So I want you all to give them big rounds of applause. Now before we get to introducing them, I just want to make one word to the wise. These are for professionals only. So kids, don't try this at home. Or you end up with a lot worse than a scar on your forehead. Now, without further ado, I present to you our wizards. So, let me open the door for them. Y'all come out. So give them a big hand of applause. Big round of applause. So, we're obviously divided up into our houses tonight. So from Hufflepuff, we have Brian Osei-Badu, Seth Coleman, Amanda Azeron, Nick Naylor, and Brant Kidd. In Team Slytherin, we have Randy Lynn, Carrie Kress, Kelsey Nauman, and Ryan Yedinak. Team Ravenclaw, we have Alyssa Moore, Jill Bellomini, and Kevin Parker. And last but certainly not least, we have Gryffindor with Hallie Zavisha, Alex Miller, Corey Weinberg, and Holly Norrell. Let's give them a big round of applause. So let's start preparing for our very first experiment. It's going to be the crystal ball. So, Team Hufflepuff, why don't you introduce us to divinations class, all right? That's a good choice.
Yeah. So we need our crystal balls. Give us 1 minute and we'll get it all correct.
So let me introduce you guys. As we all know, in the movies, they have the magical balls, which they can see into their own future, see what's going on around the world. It's extremely important for them. And much like that in chemistry, we can recreate that and make balls of our own that mirror these properties. Now, for our experiment here, it's more than just magic. It's real bona fide science. And so, when we later explain that science to you, you'll get the full picture. Now, just as a word of advice to all of you, you guys please continue to press together so that way there's no open spaces, so that way everybody can have a seat. That would just be the most polite thing to do, I'm sorry to say. And also, just in case you're really concerned, most of these experiments will not cause loud noises, but if they do, we'll let you know, okay? So,
Take a look into the future and see what we can find.
Brian, what did you see?
Saw some spiders. Some scary spiders. Huge spiders.
Oh no.
Oh.
What else did you see?
Saw my grade after the last exam. Might stay next semester. Who knows? Who knows? What do you see?
Well, I'm sure your parents will be happy to hear about that.
It looks like Hufflepuff is going to win this year.
Good job.
Oh, thanks. Maybe I should have been scared.
All right, guys, let's give them a big round of applause. So this experiment worked when they were adding dry ice to water. Dry ice is solid, frozen solid carbon dioxide. When it touches that water, it releases that carbon dioxide gas, creating that smoky effect. And so when Brian and Seth were taking those towels with that soap on it, they were rubbing it across and those bubbles were filling up. And that gave us our crystal ball. So that's just absolutely very fascinating, very interesting chemistry. But we're going to have some prizes for you guys because we have some trivia questions for you. We're going to ask you 2 questions after each experiment. We're going to do first a question from Harry Potter, and then a question about the experiment we just had. So don't shout out your answers. I want to see raised hands, Can somebody tell me what are the names of Harry Potter's two best friends? Oh, the young man in the blue, right there, blonde hair. Yes, you. Why don't you come on down? Yeah, come on. So can you tell the audience the names of Harry Potter's two best friends? Ron Weasley and Hermione. Give them a round of applause. All right, guys. You want to pick up your wand? Pick up. Very exciting. All right. So, now we're in the world of chemistry. Dry ice is the solid form of what common gas? Oh, the young man in the front row, white sleeves, you. Why don't you come forward? What's your name, bud? Scout? All right, Scout. What is the answer? It's carbon dioxide, but that's close enough for me. Give him a round of applause. Just a round of applause. That's great. What a show. So the dry ice is the solid form of carbon dioxide, the kind of stuff that you exhale every single day and comes out of the exhaust pipe of your car. So now we're going to do something a little against the rules. Team Slytherin has come out, and well, they're going to enter the Forbidden Forest, which is off limits to all students. But they're bad boys. They're in Slytherin. So of course they're going to be breaking the rules. So let's see what kind of mischief they're going to get into as they set up the next experiment. Now, spiders produce a lot of what? Can somebody tell? Web? Yeah, silk web. And you know, we can make that in the laboratory too. In fact, we can make all sorts of threads. In fact, I'm pretty sure if you were to look at your clothes, there's all sorts of things that chemists make every single day. And if you're a lucky student here at NIU, there's plenty of experiments and time for you to create your own polymer chains. But of course, we have our own magic. So, everyone will look closely at Team Slytherin's work here. Let's see if we can get some. Tricky. That can't see, what they're doing is they first mix together two chemicals. And these chemicals are going to form together into a long chain. We call that polymerization. But for us normal people, we can just call it making a polymer. And what they're trying to do is trying to grab one of the strands of it. But as it in its current state, it's quite tricky. See if we can get it. Well, I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen. Chemistry, much like magic, does not always work. But what we were going to show you is a long chain that forms when those threads come together. It's going to form what we call nylon. What they were trying to make was nylon. And that's when they mixed those two chemicals together they were working with. Well, they formed those strong bonds. And I'm sure if you went home tonight and you were to check the back of your tags, those things like polyester or nylon, those are artificial. We can make them here in the laboratory, we'll make them in our factories, and it's effective chemistry, and it's chemistry in our everyday life. So, let's give them an A for effort, give them a big round of applause. Please give them an A. And while our chemistry may not always be successful, we're always successful in handing out prizes. So, can some fine person tell me, in the first Harry Potter book, where was Harry's room located? Oh, you, young lady. Yeah. Say that one more more time. Under the cupboard. Absolutely correct. Give him a round of applause. Great job. Great job. So, back into the land of chemistry, I'm going to pull something from this side. Can somebody tell me what material was made during this chemistry demonstration? Or, well, was theoretically supposed to be made? What about you, young lady? Why don't you come on down? Nylon? Absolutely correct. Here, come with me. I'll give you a prize. Pick a nice one. Great choice, great choice. So, as we roll on forward to the next chemical demonstration that we have, we can clearly see that they made nylon, well, at least attempted to make some nylon. And so next, we have blue powder. So, up next, we're going to be checking in with Gryffindor, and they're getting ready to go somewhere. And they got to put up some very large safety barriers for themselves. For those of you guys who remember, they used flute power to get the Diagon Alley, and that's exactly where we're going to be going today. And we have some experienced chemists and we have some new chemists. Remember, kids, liquid nitrogen is extremely cold and can freeze things solid, including your own hands. So you got to be very careful and reuse very safe personal protective equipment while using it. And we have large jars of water. Now, this is quite warm water. You ready?
Hold on.
It's a very sturdy fireplace, better than the one in my dorm. All right, Alex, give it your best shot.
Ready? 1, 2, 3. Go Gryffindor!
Yeah. Oh, poor Alex. This is very exciting stuff. So, if I may please have your attention again. There you go. So what we have here today is we have liquid nitrogen. Liquid nitrogen is freezing cold, like negative 200 degrees cold. Like if you thought it was bad this winter, it would be balmy if you were touching that stuff. Now, what they did is they took very hot water and they poured it in. And so when it reacted with that nitrogen, it heated it right back up, back to being a gas. And that is why you see all this mist down at the bottom. That's all that nitrogen gas still floating down there. So, as we continue on with our trivia taking, this is going to require some advanced math system material. So, can somebody tell me, what is Lord Voldemort's birth name? Right here, you. Yeah, come forward. Have you already answered one? No? All right, yeah, come forward. Tell us, sweetheart, what's your name? Amelia? All right, Amelia. What is Lord Voldemort's birth name? Tom Riddle. Absolutely correct. Take your choice. Let's give her a round of applause. Absolutely fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. So, what liquid was poured into the liquid nitrogen to make the cloud? going to try and get somebody from the back benches. One of you, young man, right up there, right up top. Why don't you come on down? Right you. What's your name, bud? Chase? All right, Chase. What was the liquid that was poured in? Absolutely correct. Let's give Chase a big round of applause, everybody. There we go. Great job. Absolutely fantastic. We're cooking right along, everybody. Cooking right along. So, the liquid that was poured into the liquid nitrogen to make that big cloud was boiling hot water. So, next, we have the famous Marauders map. So, we have an ordinary piece of paper. An ordinary piece of paper, but, of course, we know in the wizarding world, the only thing that is ordinary is that everything is extraordinary. So, what are the magic words?
Well, what you have to say is I solemnly swear that I'm up to no good.
I solemnly swear I'm up to no good. All right, well, by saying these magic words, we can apply our solution.
I solemnly swear that I'm up to no good. No, come.
Ooh. Don't worry, ladies and gentlemen, we'll make sure it's visible to everybody. Oh, there we go. Unfortunately for us, we don't have magic paper, but science can still work wonders. So what we had was ink made out of cornstarch, and cornstarch is clear. And so we painted on NIU. And then we took a solution of iodine, and that iodine binds to that cornstarch. It makes really strong connections, and it changes its color. And because it changes that color, then we're able to see it as almost an invisible ink, if you will. So, let's continue on with a little trivia. So, the Marauders map is activated by what phrase? Why are you, young man, right here, in the glasses? Come forward, I saw you first. What's your name, bud? Jackson. Jackson, all right, what's the phrase you gotta say to make the Marauders map work? Absolutely correct. Let's give Jackson a big round of applause, everybody. Perfect. Absolutely perfect. These kids are smarter than me. The phrase is, I solemnly swear that I'm up to no good. But let's keep going. So, the lemon juice, which is what we actually drew it in this time instead of cornstarch, is activated by what chemical solution? I give you a big hint, it has an I. So why don't you, young lady in the corner? Why don't you come forward? Why don't you come forward? What's your name? Marlo? All right, what was the chemical? Iodine. Absolutely correct. Let's give her a big round of applause. Excellent, excellent, excellent work. We're cooking right along. So, lemon juice is activated by the chemical solution of iodine. Now, we didn't use fully concentrated iodine because it's a little dangerous, so we had to dilute it a little bit. Up next, we have Evanesco, which is the most fancy sounding of names. So, we have Team Hufflepuff. So, let's give a big round of applause for Team Hufflepuff, everybody. We're on getting that started. For my first famous trick, when I cast Evanesco under my breath on my horrible cousin, Dudley Dursley, and sent him into the snake exhibit, just exactly like I did in the first movie. And today, they're going to be casting the same spell on this rod of styrofoam. So, if you will.
Hello, everyone. So, we need to quickly hide this book right now. Although you might be wondering what happened to our cups. Right here. Just a little transmogrification spell, and we got it. So, but we have to hide this right now. So we can wait.
It always works in a pinch.
Oh, yeah.
Right now they're pouring acetone into these containers. It's the same kind of things that you would find in nail polish removal.
Ready? Evanesco, Evanesco, Evanesco.
Let's give him a big round of applause. Big round of applause. But of course we know that behind the magic there is always a scientific explanation. And so what we had there was styrofoam. And when it comes into contact with that acetone, it breaks down the bonds connecting all those styrofoam molecules together. And by breaking down those bonds, well, it comes apart, disappearing it into solution. And so you saw it become cloudier and cloudier as it absorbed more and more of that styrofoam. It's an excellent way of disposing materials. And many of you are already using acetone. How many of you paint your nails? Anybody? Well, I assume you want to take that off every now and again. Well, acetone is a key part of nail polish remover, and it works exactly the same way as we saw right here. So, of course, let's move along to our next trivia question. So, what type of animal did Harry own? It flies. Young lady at the very top of the corner, right here, you. Yeah, come on down. All right, sweetheart, what's your name? Addie? All right, Addie, what type of animal did Harry Potter own? An owl, absolutely correct. Big round of applause.